Hi there, everybody. It's Tony G. Parker, also known as Tony the Tapper, and I want to welcome you to tonight's EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques workshop for treating ACoA, adult children of alcoholics, adult children of dysfunctional families, family of origin issues, all right, with emotional freedom techniques, which is a incredibly powerful healing modality. And before we get into it, I just want to briefly introduce myself. I've been involved with ACoA, ACA since 1979, and when I first started attending ACA meetings, ACoA meetings in New York City, and again in the late 70s, basically there were 8 ACoAs on the whole planet. And also, you couldn't find a decent therapist who was willing to deal with the kind of issues that were being brought up in the meetings. However, that very quickly changed. Now, I had been going to therapy since I was 16, and frankly, it wasn't worth the money and the effort. Let's put it that way. It was better than nothing, just slightly. But frankly, I learned more in 1 hour in my first ACoA meeting than in the 10 years of therapy that I'd been going to and attending previous. So there you go. That's all I could say. But fortunately, time and place in history, very quickly, I think the therapeutic community, the professional community, very quickly realized that ACoA, and that whole adult-child thing was definitely the path to massive healing for a lot of people. However, there were a few early pioneers like John Bradshaw, Alice Miller, Janet Wotitz, Karen Wegscheider-Cruz. I mean, there were a few early pioneers. But now, flashing forward, almost 38 years, now there's literally hundreds of books, rehabs, clinics, all kinds of incredibly qualified professionals who, are really able to help people. And so that's the good news. I will say that, EFT, I found EFT a very powerful healing modality for treating trauma, PTSD, etc. So the whole purpose of this workshop is to combine EFT with the, shall we say, the insights and the information, at least the cognitive information, that we acquired, or one acquired, or I acquired from ACoA adult children. Okay, so what we're going to start doing is we're going to start some warm-up EFT routines just to get ourselves into a ready-to-receive healing. These are excellent tapping routines that you can use to relax, stabilize, calm down, etc. And they're just good maintenance, good psychological, emotional maintenance for maintaining a good, balanced, and centered state. So the first tapping routine, just for those of you who are new to EFT, I'll just explain to you that EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, is a form of energy healing that's probably been around Asia, the various Asian countries, northern India, Nepal, Tibet, parts of China, Southeast Asia, literally hundreds if not thousands of years. It was somehow imported into this country and discovered and rebranded a whole series of alphabet soup initials, TFT, CER, TAT, there's a whole alphabet soup. Basically, it's tapping on various acupuncture points, meridians, and chakras while stating or focusing affirmations, stating affirmations or healing statements, That's it. It's that easy. For the purposes of this workshop, we'll use about 9 or 10 tapping points or acupuncture points. As again, it's often called acupuncture without needles. You tap 7 to 20 times on each one of these points and just repeat the affirmations and healing statements that I'll make. I will also, as we get on later on into this workshop, we'll start using some of the ACA or Adult Children of Alcoholics material. So let's start off with the first tapping routine, which is called the Protective Shield of Golden Light, which is based on a thousands of years old Tibetan mantra for protection and healing and defense against negative energy, negative people, etc. And it is very powerful, and it's great for treating that hypervigilance and free-floating fear, fear of being watched, fear of being, attacked, or fear of, etc., fear of the unknown. ACOAs tend to be either addicted to fear or conditioned by fear, often as a result of growing up in a dangerous or traumatic environment, so it's understandable. Again, this tap is very good, just calming, relaxing. I find it works for me for about 4 to 6 hours, so I'll tap 2 or 3 times a day doing this routine. So just again, just follow along with me. Tap where I tap 7 to 20 times on each tapping point and repeat what I say, the various affirmations and healing statements. So let's just start tapping the top of the head. This is often called the crown chakra. All right? And now let's just say energy system, eyebrow. I'm instructing you, okay, side of the eye, to generate a protective shield of golden light, okay, under the eye, all around my body, under the nose, protecting me from all negative energies, okay, under the mouth, all negative influences, okay, collarbone, all negative intentions, okay, under the arm, all negative entities and persons, karate chop, sending them all to the sun to be transmuted to love. Top of the head only allowing in, eyebrow loving, side of the eye healing, under the eye positive, under the nose energies, under the mouth and intentions. Collarbone. And if I have any negative energies or intentions, under the arm, I send them all to the sun. Karate chop to be transmuted to love. Okay, excellent. Now let's all take a deep breath and I'll release. Very good, excellent. All right, again, I find sometimes I may have to do this 2 or 3 times a day if I'm in a toxic or abusive or hostile environment. I am always reminded of, remember Ghostbusters, where Dan Aykroyd got slimed by negative energy. Well, this is protection against getting slimed. Great exercise. But again, if you're in an environment that's not safe and it's toxic and it's abusive and weird, sooner or later you need to vote with your feet and leave the scene of the crime. Okay? That's my advice. Okay, moving along, let's do the Ho'oponopono tap, which is a very similar tap. It's for protection, releasing, healing, clearing negative situations, negative relationships. Again, a very powerful exercise, and it yields a lot of results. There's a lot of discussion on Ho'oponopono on the internet, and a lot of people, practitioners, are combining it with EFT with excellent results. It's based on, again, a traditional native Hawaiian mantra healing ritual that was practiced by the traditional native Hawaiian kahunas or shamans, and it's been around for hundreds if not thousands of years. And again, when we combine it with EFT, just all you need to do is just tap or I tap 7 to 20 times and repeat the various affirmations and healing statements. So let's just start tapping on the top of the head on the crown chakra and just repeat after me. I'm sorry. Eyebrow, please forgive me. Okay, side of the eye. I forgive you. Under the eye. I forgive myself. Under the nose. Thank you. Under the mouth. I love you. Okay, collarbone. I'm sorry. Okay, under the arm. Please forgive me. Karate chop. I forgive you. Top of the head. I forgive myself. Eyebrow. Thank you. Side of the eye. I love you. Okay, under the eye. I'm sorry. Under the nose. Please forgive me. Under the mouth. I forgive you. Okay, collarbone. I forgive myself. Under the arm. Thank you. Karate chop. I love you. Okay. Take a deep breath and I'll release. Okay. Again, these tapping routines will give you temporary relief from, feeling insecure, unsafe, distressed, etc. Again, 3, 4, 6 hours. They're not intended as a permanent cure, but they are great for, first aid. Like I said, I sometimes do these taps 2 to 3 to 4 times a day. And again, it's great kind of first aid. Moving along to what we call the gratitude tap. All right, and the gratitude tap is a very powerful EFT practice, but it's not solely just EFT. A lot of groups, healing groups, therapy groups, self-help groups, 12-step groups, make the suggestion of make a gratitude list. You write down things that you feel positive or grateful for. Now, what we do is we take that list, okay, and then we do a very simple EFT gratitude tap, all right? It's incredibly simple, yet again it yields massive benefits and results. Ridiculously easy. All right, so say for instance, I'm going to pick my cat Sandy, all right, who's a beautiful little rescue cat, orange tabby. He's a real sweetie. He's my buddy. He's my little furry friend, and I love him, and I feel really grateful whenever I think of him, and it's really lovely. So let's go top of the head, and of course you can think of somebody else or something or a recent event or something in your life that makes you feel positive and happy and grateful. All right, tapping the top of the head on the crown chakra 7 to 20 times. And again, very easy. Just say, now we're going to say those 2 magic words that totally activates all kinds of healing benefits. Say, thank you. Very good. Eyebrow. Thank you. Side of the eye. Thank you. Under the eye. Thank you. Under the nose. Thank you. Under the mouth. Thank you. Collarbone. Thank you. Under the arm. Thank you. Karate chop. Thank you. Excellent. Let's all take a deep breath. And I'll release. Very good. Excellent. Again, I would suggest you make a list of 5 to 10 things and do thank you, thank you, thank you for each one of them. This should not take you any longer than 3 to 5 minutes. And again, gives you a whole sense of well-being, gratitude, and again, a sense of positive, well-being, etc. It's a great way to kind of turn the day around. And again, if you need to, do this tap 2 or 3 times a day, whatever you need to do. EFT is all about self-treatment. Again, it's there's no narcotics, it can't hurt you, and there's some incredible benefits. All right, so now let's move along to another tapping routine, which is called the Reiki tap. And now we're getting into some more intensive tapping work. And this is based on the 4 Reiki mantras. Okay, if you're familiar with Reiki, there are 4 basic Reiki mantras, and they have the beautiful Reiki calligraphy, okay, for each one of the mantras. And what we do is we'll do an EFT tap while stating the 4 basic mantras, 4 basic statements. And again, this activates the Reiki healing energy, which is great, and you'll notice. And it's a great preparation for any deep healing work, because it's basically a Reiki attunement with EFT. So let's just start tapping at the top of the head, and we're going to use the first Reiki mantra, which is Chokure. All right, and Chokure means place the healing energy here. All right, and we're going to repeat each one of these mantras 3 times, sorry about that, 3 times, and while tapping on our various tapping points. And all you need to do is tap where I tap 7 to 20 times and repeat the mantras, the affirmations, the healing statements. All right, and again, Chokure means place the healing energy here. So here we go. Say Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Very good. Eyebrow. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Okay, side of the eye. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. On the eye. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Under the nose. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Under the mouth. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Collarbone. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Under the arm. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Okay, karate chop. Chokure, Chokure, Chokure. Very good. Excellent. Let's take a deep breath. And I'll release. Very good. Excellent. And now we're going to do the second Reiki mantra, which is Seihiki. And Seihiki means healing the mind, the body, and the spirit. So let's start tapping at the top of the head. And again, just repeat after me. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Okay, eyebrow. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Okay, side of the eye. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Under the eye. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Okay, under the nose. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Under the mouth. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Collarbone. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Under the arm. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Karate chop. Seihiki, Seihiki, Seihiki. Okay, take a deep breath. And now release. Very good. Excellent. Now what I want you to do, we're going to do the third Reiki mantra. I'm going to do it a little slowly at first because it's a bit of a tongue twister. Honsha-ze shonen. And again, I'll just say it slowly. Honsha-ze shonen. All right, so we're going to say it slowly at first, and then we'll pick up speed. Again, let's start tapping on the crown chakra, the top of the head. And again, Honsha-ze shonen means healing the past, the present, and the future. Okay, and just repeat after me. Honsha-ze shonen, Honsha-ze shonen, Honsha-ze shonen. Okay, very good. Eyebrow. honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Okay, very good. Now we're going to pick up a little speed now. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Go ahead. Very good. Under the eye. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Okay, under the nose. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Under the mouth. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Okay, collarbone. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Okay, under the arm. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Okay, very good. Karate chop. Honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen, honshaze shonen. Awesome. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath and I'll release. Very good. Excellent. Now, by now you should be feeling a bit of a tingle or a little bit of a body rush or feeling floating. We often call it floating. Or a little bit of a body rush, a little lightheaded or kind of almost sleepy and relaxed. That's a good thing. You may even be yawning. That's basically your energy system is recirculating. It's starting to move. It's releasing any negative or toxic energy. The healing process is kicking in. And of course, now with the Reiki mantra, we've started to really energize all that Reiki healing energy, which is very powerful, okay? And now we're going to do the last Reiki mantra, which is Daikomyo, which means tuning into, all right, the Reiki healing energy, tuning into the Reiki healing energy in order to heal ourselves and others. And again, it's very simple. It's Daikomyo, all right? Daikomyo, which means tuning into the Reiki healing energy. So Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Eyebrow. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Side of the eye. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Okay, under the eye. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Under the nose. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Under the mouth. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Okay, collarbone. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Under the arm. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Okay, karate chop. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo. Awesome. Let's all take a deep breath and now release. There you go. Very good. And there you go. That's the Reiki tap, okay, where we've used the 4 Reiki mantras to activate the Reiki healing energy as well as the EFT healing energy, which are pretty much kissing cousins. Great preparation for any serious healing work. Okay, by the way, if there's anybody who's on tonight, please feel free to say hello. Either click on the love button, the like button, say hello. Also, if you'd like to check in and say hi, it's always nice to see you guys. Also, if you want to join the, the workshop, that would be nice too. Okay, all you need to do is to check in at the with the the Zoom room with the link, the Zoom link. All right, and you can end up in the Zoom room with me. It's a little forum, and we can have up to 50 people. So it's always fun when there's somebody else to tap with. Anyway, we're going to now work on one of the basic EFT taps for ACOAs. And what we're going to do is we're going to borrow material from the ACOA Laundry list, okay? Now, I have posted the ACOA Laundry list on my Facebook page, my EFT for Adult Children of Alcoholics Facebook page and my group, okay? And it's often called the Laundry List, the 14 Traits of an Adult Child of an Alcoholic, okay? And there are a variety of traits, and again, it's a very good way of looking at our stuff, at our behaviors, okay? Also, it's really good EFT tapping material. There's a lot of good stuff there that we can use EFT to kind of neutralize and modify our behavior. Again, what's kind of interesting and about EFT is that it can be used as a process of reprogramming our behaviors, our attitudes, and our beliefs. The good news about being an ACOA is that the brain is completely plastic and reprogrammable. So even though we may have acquired these behaviors and traits as a result of growing up in an alcoholic or otherwise dysfunctional family, very often as a survival mechanism or a coping mechanism in order to survive a crazy, dysfunctional, toxic, or even dangerous environment, and again, the good news is using a tool like EFT, we can neutralize those behaviors that we don't want and replace them with behaviors that we do want using the EFT tapping. Now, I will say it's not instantaneous. It does require frequency and specificity and repetition, lots of repetition, because we've been engaged in these behaviors since before we could read. I mean, literally as toddlers. A lot of these ACoA adult child behaviors occurred when, we learned them literally before we could even read or walk or talk, believe it or not. So, I'm going to pick one of my favorites, okay, which is we get guilt feelings when we stand up for ourselves instead of giving in to others, which I think is probably, if I were going to pick a top of the pops of the 14, I would pick that one. And now, again, I think it's probably numbered as number 7, okay, on the standard list, okay, and that's not a bad thing. And but what we're going to do is each week we're going to pick one of these traits, and we're going to do some EFT work on each one. So in 14 weeks, you'll have covered the laundry list. So this week is number 7, completely out of order. But anyway, it's a great tap, and it's probably one of our major issues. So again, the way we use EFT is we start tapping on our karate chop, okay, 7 to 20 times, and we have a what we call a setup phrase, and I'm just going to again craft a impromptu ad hoc setup phrase based on the ACoA laundry list. Even though I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself. Just repeat after me. Even though I have trouble standing up for myself and I feel guilty, instead of giving in to others, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. All right, so just repeat after me while you're tapping 7 to 20 times on your side of the hand, the karate chop. So even though I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself, instead of giving in to others, because that's what I learned growing up in my crazy alcoholic dysfunctional family, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Good? Excellent. Very good. So even though I have trouble standing up for myself, I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself, But today I set a firm intention to stand up for myself and not feel guilty anyway. And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Excellent. Very good. So now we're going to do it one more time. So even though I have trouble standing up for myself, I feel guilty when I stand up for myself. I get frightened. And I've done this ever since I was a child. Today I set a firm intention to stand up for myself and not feel guilty about it anyway. And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Very good. Top of the head now. I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself because my usual pattern is giving in to others. I have trouble standing up for myself. I feel guilty whenever I do. Eyebrow. I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself, and my usual pattern is to give in to others. Okay, side of the eye. I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself. I have trouble standing up for myself because my usual pattern, ever since I was a little child, is to give in to others because it was too dangerous to stand up for myself. Okay, under the eye. I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself. I feel afraid. It's too dangerous to stand up for myself. It's safer to give in to everybody. Under the nose. I feel guilty and afraid whenever I stand up for myself. It's safer for me to to give in to others. Under the mouth. I have trouble standing up for myself. I feel guilty and afraid whenever I stand up for myself. It's safer for me. What I learned in my family is safer for me to give in to others. Collarbone. I feel guilty whenever I stand up for myself. It's easier and safer in my crazy family to give in to others. I feel guilty and afraid whenever I stand up for myself. Under the arm. It's easy for me to give in to others. That's what, I have trouble standing up for myself. I feel guilty and afraid whenever I stand up for myself. And it's easier, and what I learned in my family, it's easier and safer to give in to others. Karate chop. So even though I feel frightened and guilty whenever I stand up for myself, and I learned from my family of origin it was easier to give in to others, today I set a firm intention to stand up for myself and not give in to others and not feel guilty about it anyway. And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Okay, top of the head. I choose to stand up for myself and not feel guilty about it anyway. Eyebrow. I deserve to stand up for myself and not feel guilty or afraid anyway. Side of the eye. I give myself permission to stand up for myself and not feel guilty or afraid anyway. Under the eye. I am willing to stand up for myself and not feel guilty about it anyway. Okay, under the nose. It's safe for me to stand up for myself and not feel guilty or afraid anyway. Under the mouth. I have the power to stand up for myself and not feel guilty or afraid anyway. Collarbone. I like the way it feels when I stand up for myself and not feel guilty anyway. Under the arm. It's easy for me to stand up for myself and not feel guilty about it anyway. Karate chop. So even though I was taught to feel guilty and afraid about standing up for myself and give in to others, but today I set a firm intention to stand up for myself and not feel guilty or afraid anyway. And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Okay, top of the head. Letting go of all fear and guilt whenever I stand up for myself. Eyebrow, letting go. Side of the eye, letting go. Under the eye, letting go. Under the nose, letting go. Under the mouth, letting go. Collarbone, letting go. Under the arm, letting go. Karate chop, letting go of all fear and guilt whenever I stand up for myself. And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Take a deep breath, and I'll release. Okay, very good. Well, there you go, guys. That's a simple tapping routine. Only takes a few minutes. You'll probably have to do this every day for quite some time. Again, we're replacing a lifelong habit, okay, with a new habit. We're replacing that lifelong habit that we learned as little children, a survival mechanism, as a survival routine, in a toxic, dangerous, insane, crazy, alcoholic, dysfunctional family, of giving in to the crazy alcoholics and the crazy codependents and co-alcoholics. And we're replacing that with a new habit where it's okay for us to stand up for ourselves, it's okay for us to speak our truth, and we don't necessarily have to give in to others in order to survive. Again, the trick with EFT is repetition, specificity, frequency. And you'll just, one day you'll just wake up and you'll notice that your behavior has changed. And that's the exercise. So guys, namaste, blessings. I hope you enjoyed our little workshop. Please feel free to try this out. Also, let me know how it's working for you. I love to hear from you guys. Also, we'll be on again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time with another EFT for adult children workshop. And you're all welcome to join me live on the Zoom platform, which is, the link is in there in the invitation. Or you can watch the recording on Facebook and tap. Again, it's a no-brainer. It's like follow the bouncing ball or sing along or tap along with the recording. Also, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to click the love button or the like button and, post a few kind words. Blessings, namaste, I love you.